Types of chemical reactions. First, thermal decomposition reaction. Thermal decomposition reaction. It is a reaction of breaking up compound into simple substances by heat. Example, decomposition of metal oxide into metal and oxygen. Observation, red mercuric oxide HgO decomposes by heat into mercury, silver PPT, and oxygen rises. Conclusion, 2GHO, red, decomposed into 2Hg, silver PPT, plus O2. Decomposition of metal hydroxides into metal oxide and water vapor. Blue copper hydroxide decomposes by heat to copper oxide, black PPT, and water vapor. Cu, between brackets, OH by 2, blue, produces CuO, black, plus H2O, water. Decomposition of metal carbonates into metal oxide and carbon dioxide. Green copper carbonate decomposes by heat to copper oxide, black PPT, and carbon dioxide. CuCO3 decomposes into CuO plus CO2 carbon dioxide. Decomposition of metal sulfate into metal oxide and sulfur trioxide. Blue copper sulfate decomposes by heat into black copper oxide and sulfur trioxide. Match doesn't affect. CuSO4 blue decomposes into CuO black plus SO3. SO3 reacts with water vapor forming H2SO4. The composition of metal nitrate into metal nitrite and oxygen gas. White sodium nitrates decomposes by heat into yellowish white sodium with nitrites and oxygen. Match glows more. 2NaNO3 white decomposes into 2NaNO2 yellowish white color plus O2. Airbags. Importance. The most important safety means at emergencies. They are designed in a way that they get inflated at an extreme speed with only 40 mm/second on the occurrence of the car crash with another object. How does it work? On the occurrence of an accident, a fast decomposition, an explosion of sodium azide forming sodium and nitrogen gas that fills the airbag. Then they get vacuumed rapidly to help the driver to get clear vision and proper movement. 2NaN3 sodium azide under electric spark produces 2Na sodium plus 3N2 nitrogen. Second, substitution reaction. Substitution reaction, the reaction which depends on the activity. The more active element substitutes, the less active on its compound. The activity of an element can be determined by using chemical activity series. All elements above, before hydrogen replace it. All elements follow, after, hydrogen don't replace it. Simple substitution reactions. They are reactions where the more active element substitutes the less active one. Activity 2, to discover the substitution of a metal to water, hydrogen. A metal substitutes hydrogen of water or acid. Metals react with water as they substitute acid hydrogen and produce salt. 2Na plus 2H2O produces 2NaOH plus H2 plus heat. Activity: to discover the substitution of a metal to acid hydrogen. What happens if putting 3 pieces of zinc, aluminium, and copper in diluted hydraulic acid? Zinc reacts with acid immediately, forming salt and hydrogen. Zn plus 2HCl produces ZnCl2 plus H2. Aluminium's reaction taking time more than zinc, forming salt and hydrogen. 2Al plus 6HCl produces 2AlCl3 plus 3H2. Copper does not react with acid because copper is less active than hydrogen. Cu plus HCl produces no reaction. Sodium reacts while diluted HCl, while copper doesn't react with the same because copper comes after hydrogen in CaS, so it is less active than hydrogen. Aluminium takes time more than zinc to react with the acid, although aluminium comes before zinc in CaS due to presence of layer of aluminium oxide that takes a time to separate from aluminium. A metal substitutes another one in its salt solution. Some metals replace another metal in a salt solution that follows in the CaS. Magnesium substitutes copper in copper sulfate sodium forming magnesium, and a reddish-brown copper precipitate in the glass. Mg plus CuSO4 produces MgSO4 plus Cu PPT red. Activity: to discover the substitution of a metal to another one in its salt. Double substitution reaction. It is a reaction where double substitution occurs between the ions of compounds to form 2 new compounds. AB plus CD produces AD plus CB. Reaction between acid and alkali, neutralization. Neutralization. It is the reaction between an acid and alkali forming salt and water. Acid plus alkali produces salt plus water. When hydraulic acid reacts with sodium hydroxide, they produce sodium chloride, salt, and water. HCl plus NaOH produces NaCl plus H2O. On heating the solution, water evaporates and sodium chloride remains. The reaction of acid with salt. Hydraulic acid reacts with sodium carbonate, forming sodium chloride, water, and carbon dioxide. CO2 turns lime water turbid and blows the balloon. Na2CO3 plus 2HCl produces 2NaCl plus H2O plus CO2. Acids reacts with salt and the result depends on the type of acids and salt. Activity: to discover the reaction between acid and salt. The reaction of salt with salt, 2 salts. The reactions between salt solutions are accompanied by the formation of precipitate. When we add sodium chloride solution to silver nitrate, a white precipitation of silver chloride is formed. NaCl plus AgNO3 produces NaNO3 plus AgCl. Activity: to discover the reaction between 2 salt solutions.